This is Melania, Blade of Mikola, Melania the Unalloyed, Melania the Goddess of Rot, Melania the Severed. We love her so much. We are working on this cape. This cape is going to take me years to embroider, because we're embroidering it all by hand. I need to know, has anyone watched Silo? It's a show on, like, Apple TV or whatever, like the Apple subscription service for TV. So there might not be that many people have seen it. But me and Joe have been watching it. And it's apparently based on some books. And I really want to read these books, because I really like this show. The show Silo, if you've never heard of it, it's basically like... Honestly, I'm going to describe this in two ways, and it's going to make perfect sense. One way describe it as like the first episode of Gurren Lagann. If anyone has seen just the first episode of Gurren Lagann when they're like in the hole. It's also a little bit like Fallout, but like not outside, only in the vaults. So it's a post-apocalyptic nuclear center. Everyone's trapped in a post-apocalyptic nuclear bunker, like Gurren Lagann type show. And, you know, there's all these mysteries, like they don't know why, they don't know anything about the past. There's some kind of, like, some kind of secret organization. So it's really interesting. But this show has also been driving me a little bit nuts with, like, a couple little things that are just, like, too silly for me to suspend my disbelief over. So the first one was... In, like, the first episode, this character has their birth control taken out. So in this TV show, Silo, this doctor pulls out this birth control, and it's like this big. It's like the size of this cube of wax. It's like this big. Okay. And I'm sitting there going, and I assumed at first that this was like an IUD, that this was like in her uterus. This is a ridiculous size object to get through someone's cervix. And so that was my first thought, was that doesn't look like any birth control I've ever seen. I was like, man, I mean, it's a TV show. It's supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic future, whatever. And then later, they show that the birth control is actually in her leg. Which, like, if you're not aware, there is a birth control implant they can put in your arm. But it's really small. Just within the plot, like, the character doesn't know that the birth control is still in her leg, but the thing is so big, how would she not feel it? But then the big, like, scientific I can't let this go thing is this character, all these people are trying to fix this, like, steam generator. It's the generator for the silos. It's very important that they fix it. And they're like, oh no, it's gonna overheat. And, like, the main character gets in, like, the bottom part of the generator where the steam valve is, and to cool it down... See, now I gotta fight with this one, because it got pulled too tight. Because, like, the steam valve is too hot, and the way she cools it down is she gets a hose. Work. She gets a hose, and she sprays this hot metal valve full of steam with a hose to cool it down. And I was just like, okay, one of many things would happen. One, getting in the little chamber where the thing is, it would be an oven. She would be cooked. Two, the second the water hit the hot thing holding the steam in, the water would, I don't know, turn into steam immediately and melt her, or it would explode. And this goes on for, like, the entire duration of this, like, very long scene where they're fixing this generator, and I was just like, I don't even know anything about engineering, and this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. She would be dead. But is anybody watching House of the Dragon? Me and Joe didn't super get into House of the Dragon when it came out, because first of all, when it came out, I didn't know how involved George R. R. Martin was in the making of it, and then we found that out and we were like, oh, well that must be a good sign then. And so then we watched season 1. We only watched season 1 like a couple months ago maybe, but it's good. You can tell George is there. Oh, there was a really cute thing about so the thing is I have not read Fire and Blood, which is what House of the Dragon is based on one of the stories from Fire and Blood, and Fire and Blood is like a series of stories about the Targaryens. And there was this really funny thing about this dog that was included in a specific horrifying scene in the show. But the dog was not in the books, and there's like, I saw this thing, I think George R. R. Martin put this on his blog, that I guess somebody had asked about the dog, and he said, I didn't come up with the dog, but the dog made the scene so much better. When the guy kicked the dog, I hated him, and when the dog was sad that the guy was dead, it broke my heart, and he really liked that, even terrible people can be shown to love and be loved. And that he liked that he didn't come up with the dog, but he loved the addition, and that he wished he'd come up with the dog. And I just thought that was so cute and wholesome. The funniest meme I saw about House of the Dragon was right before season 2 started. I saw this meme that was just a picture of Daemon and Rhaenyra, and it was like, in 2 weeks, I forget all of my morals and root for incest. And I say that because I see a couple of you being like, Team Blacks. I'm also Team Blacks. But it doesn't take looking, you know, if you've ever looked at a Targaryen family tree, you know who wins. But it's about seeing where we go. If I didn't say this last week, I think I said something about it, but I don't know that I looked it up after. So George R. R. Martin did the world building for Elden Ring, right? So that's why this, where my brain wants to be is in George R. R. Martin world, is because he is responsible for the world building that Elden Ring is based on. So he did not write the story of the game, or we don't really know at what point like George stopped writing and Miyazaki took it, what he wrote, and ran. But he built the world of all these demigods and their weird family, and then Miyazaki took all that and ran and made Elden Ring. There's also so George R. R. Martin's favorite animal is turtles, and there are turtles in Elden Ring that are specifically in tribute, just like random turtles in the world, just like, you know, there's like random deer and stuff too in the world of Elden Ring. But the random turtles are for George R. R. Martin. But there is one giant turtle who wears a Pope hat, who is like the character insert for George. He's like the big turtle that is inspired by George. Oh, and I didn't know that this was gonna happen, but I know that this is happening because several of y'all have told me about this happening in the patrons only Discord, but I have apparently inspired several of you to go play Elden Ring, which I'm very happy about and very proud of, and very much so feel like I don't really call myself an influencer. I call myself a YouTuber, but that made me feel like an influencer, and a good influence, that I've gotten this many people to try playing a game or going back to a game. I'm very happy and proud of that. I hope y'all like it. It is very difficult, but use the wiki. Use all of the, don't listen to what the Souls Bros tell you that you're not allowed to do this or that. Just play the game however it is easiest for you. You can hide behind a shield the entire time, and you can still play the game. Zabear says, you and one of my adult students got me to play Elden Ring. Hell yeah. Shout out to that student. It's a good game. It's one of the best, they don't make good video games anymore. They don't. The only two good video games... Yes. The two best video games of the last 15 years. Nah, we'll not do 15. Last 10 years. Are Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. Granted, I did not finish Baldur's Gate 3. I got to Act 3 and was like, I'm good. I'm bored now. That's a me thing. But I had a lot of fun with Act 1. But the fact that somebody made a game like that, and granted, I'm saying that as a person who likes very strange, like very antiquated video games that don't really hold your hand. Baldur's Gate 3, I would not even put in like, I don't think me personally, I wouldn't put it in my like top 10 favorite games. I really enjoyed it. It's a really good game. I do think it did deserve its Game of the Year win over Tears of the Kingdom. I think Tears of the Kingdom had some stuff in it that didn't need to be there, like all the building stuff. Play more indie games. Okay, we're going off on a tangent about what kind of video games Sarah is even willing to play. So I was barely even willing to play Baldur's Gate because it's top-down, and I hate top-down. It's one of the big reasons I, like, didn't finish. I, like, wasn't super so into it that I felt like I needed to finish it. Oh, Hades. Isn't Hades kind of... I haven't seen anybody play Hades in a while. I know Hades is good, but a good example is, like, Hollow Knight. That game is a side-scroller, okay? There are plenty of really good side-scroller video games, but I don't want to play a side-scroller. I don't want to play a top... This is a very specific me thing, okay? Side-scrollers are not inherently bad. Top-down, not inherently bad. I just don't want to play them. I just don't. I want my games to be 3D, to more preferably be third-person perspective, so above the player character with a camera that you can control, a 3D game with a 3D camera, or a game, or a first-person shooter. I'm okay with a first-person shooter, but it's got to be a very good one. All of my favorite games are third-person, 3D, at least semi-open world, if not fully open world games. Those are the kind of games that I like. If it's not those things, I'm either not going to play it, or when I do play it, I'm not gonna, like, want to keep playing it as much as I might want to do other ones. Like, I didn't finish Baldur's Gate 3. Probably a big reason I did that. A, I got a little overwhelmed by the third act, because there was just so much to do. But B, it's kind of top-downy. Like, you can make it look not top-downy, which is why I was even able to even kind of play it, but it is still very top-downy, and it's click to move. And I know there's, like, mods where you don't have to have it be click to move, but it's click to move. I don't like League. League is top-down, and League is click to move. I really don't like click to move. Joe tried to get me to play RuneScape. Didn't like RuneScape. It's click to move. Have you just described... I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. Here's the other thing. I have very specific interests in stuff. Like, would I like Horizon Zero Dawn? Yeah, probably. What about Critical... Himedari, do you know what can of worms you just opened up? Are we about to go on a rant? Okay, hold on. Himedari. My dear friend, you have no idea what you just stepped in. Himedari says, what about critically acclaimed MMORPG? Final Fantasy XIV. You mean this game? You see this box? I don't know. We'll switch cameras. I'd like y'all to be able to see this. You see that tiny number? Hold on. There we go. Sorry. Do you see this tiny number? And there's stuff in this box. This is a Before the World Destruction copy of 14. I've played 14, but I played 14 when it was really bad. So you might be like, Sarah, it's different now. It's not bad anymore. I'm aware. All right? I'm aware. Here's the big reason I don't want to play 14. The reason Sarah refuses to play a game. That's like the one game. Okay, manuals. 2 different Xbox versions of 11 and 2 different PC versions of 11. This one was not actually mine in my time. I bought this at a Goodwill. I found this at a Goodwill, and it's just become part of my collection. But these were all mine, that I played all of them. I started on Xbox 360 and eventually moved to PC. But this was my absolute obsession of my teenage years. I have 2 plushies from it. I won't get... You can maybe see part of the Mandragora up there. But I also have Shana Toto, or however the f you say her name. This one is actually 11 branded. The tiny Mandragora I have is 14 branded, which is disgusting because the tiny Mandragoras are from 11 and were not originally in 14 at all. So I loved 11. I will not play 14 because one of 2 things will happen. 1, I will hate it and I will be disappointed and annoyed that this game that I don't like killed that game that I love. In a lot of ways, 11 killed itself because it updated and got really weird. Kind of the only way you can play 11 and enjoy it anymore is to join a private server, which I have also done before. Or I would play 14 and love it and never touch any cosplay ever again. And we can't have that. So, Paige, guys, I think Sarah might like Final Fantasy. I wish I had time for video games. That's exactly it, Chaos. Chaos has it right on the nose. I have to, like, schedule myself to be able to have, like, video game time. But it works for me because it very rarely happens that a game comes out and I want to play it. Like, I get, like, a video game a year. That's it. Friggin' says hard shift to 14 streaming. What's so funny also, so in a lot of ways, my life as an adolescent, so I started playing 11 when I was 14 years old and played it like every day until I was like 16 years old. And then came back at like 18 and came back at probably like 22. So a lot of my adolescence and early adulthood has a lot to do with that game. And so I was born in the predecessor to 14. And what's so weird and coincidental to me is I feel like my cosplay YouTuber forebearers, Deja Vidi, who I've talked about before on the channel, and Mango Cyrene, who now goes by Fawnina, who I'm sure I've mentioned on the channel multiple times. Those 2 were like well, there were other ones, but they were 2 of the most influential cosplay YouTubers to me before I did cosplay YouTube. Like, they don't really do YouTube content anymore. You know what they do, though? They're both Final Fantasy 14 VTubers now. That's where cosplay YouTubers go to die. So, yes. When I'm ready to die, we will either be a Final Fantasy 14 VTuber or we'll be a Final Fantasy 11 private server VTuber. We will see. I honestly, from what I've heard about 14, they made it a lot more like 11, but I feel like they're missing a lot of, like, they've taken all the colors of 11, but it seems like they've missed a lot of its flavor. But I don't know, I haven't played it. My sister's played it. Joe's brother has played it. Joe, now y'all can call me a bad girlfriend for doing this, but I also don't allow Joe to play it. The rule is don't go where I can't follow. It's very that. It's a don't go where I can't follow. And right now I can't follow. When I'm good and I'm done and I'm ready to retire, I will play 14. Until then, I will not. I will not touch it. Somebody started playing it last year. You had no idea what you walked into. There is a long... My great rival is a game. I will say, I was talking... Somebody was in the... People were talking about video games in the patrons channel. And I talk about how much I hated 16. I tried to play 16. Here's my other thing. Is going back to the people who suggested Horizon Zero Dawn. I for whatever reason, very motivated by aesthetics. Don't know why. It's a big thing. And I like traditional fantasy aesthetics. So I like, you know, swords and spells and magic and forests and fun fantasy landscapes. I also like really fun games. So that's not always like a requirement. But my favorite games are all that. You know, they're all high fantasy. I like high fantasy, and I don't really care for sci-fi. I don't really care for, like, post-apocalyptic games. Like, I've tried to play some of the Fallout games, and, like, they're cool, but they're just not my aesthetic. I don't want to walk around in the desert. I want to go walk around in the forest, you know? Like, if there's a desert area, I like desert areas, but I, like, didn't want to keep playing New Vegas because I just wasn't super interested in the world. And the people who love that game, you're probably like, what? That game is so good. No, I can be like, yeah, this game has a lot of stuff going for it. I can recognize when a game is really good, and then also just be like, I don't really need to play it. I'm good. So, like, Final Fantasy 15, I was never interested in it because I don't want a car in my fantasy. I don't want a car in my fantasy, okay? I don't care. I've never played Final Fantasy 7. I've never played Final Fantasy 10. I have only played the release of 3 that they did on the DS, which might be a different number for the Japanese version. I don't even remember. But I played the one that they made on the DS. That was 3. I liked that one as a kid, but I have never really liked turn-based combat. So I wouldn't call that anywhere near, like, my favorite game. But the thing I liked about that game was that you could pick your class for each character. And, you know, I always love... The thing I love an RPG. And I love a class system and a build system. It's one of the reasons why I love Elden Ring so much, is because you have so much freedom to do any kind of build any way you want. You can make a build around a certain type of weapon. You can make a whole build around a certain type of spell. And you just have total freedom to do all that, and I love it. And, you know, because I had played 3, when I got to 11, I, like, really loved that it was, you know, the same old school Final Fantasy class system, but it wasn't turn-based combat. I don't know how the combat is in 14, but 11's was very watch numbers go by. It was very look at numbers, which I liked, but it's not the kind of thing I think most people are into anymore. I hated... Now, I don't know what 14's, like, weapon system is now, but I hated what it was when I played it when it first came out, before the world destruction. It was what I call World of Warcraft. That hot bar where they just give you a hot bar and you just keep clicking on abilities on the hot bar, and that's all you do is you just look at your abilities on the hot bar and you click on your abilities on the hot bar like WoW did, because WoW established it. Oh, and Elder Scrolls Online. Oh my god. You want to talk about one of the worst MMOs I've ever played, and I've played 14 before the world destruction. Granted, I had a lot of fun with ESO when it first came out. I have a lot of fond memories of playing ESO. But ESO really is like, run to quest marker, run to other quest marker, maybe do a little battle, maybe do a little fight. But you know, you mostly are leveling up from running around, talking to NPCs, not really do anything, not really getting to do a lot of combat or get to use any of these skills that you're getting from leveling up. Like, ESO is... Well, ESO is definitely where Jenna Marbles went. Forever wondering where the hell she is. She's in ESO somewhere that no one knows who she is. Good for her. Glad she likes that game. That game is not very good. Okay, this will be fun if y'all want to do this. I'm very opinionated about video games, okay? Y'all tell me your favorite video game, and I will tell you what my opinion of it is. I know a lot of different video games, so give me your favorite, and I will either praise it or roast it. It will be fun. We're starting with a good one. Undertale and Skyrim. Undertale. Masterpiece. Amazing. What's the Lady Gaga quote? All that Lady Gaga says about Undertale. Undertale is a work of art. Whatever people think of Undertale because of, like, the reputation that the fandom got, Undertale is a piece of art and it is an amazing game. And so many video games could learn so much from everything Undertale achieved. And Skyrim, I wasn't super into Skyrim. My sister loved it. Thousands of hours in it. It was a really important game for the time, so good answer, first one. Destiny 2. I have not played any of the Destiny games. Aren't those like sci-fi-y first-person shooter gamies? Not my thing. I never played the story mode of Halo 2, but is Halo 2 the one where you could do Forge? Because me and my sister... we used to play the Halo Forge mode. I don't know if that's Halo 2 or Halo 3. My sister was big into the Halo games. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask. Masterpiece. A shockingly amazing game. When you can, especially when you consider the circumstance that it's the sequel to one of the best games of all time. And it itself is one of the best games of all time. Great choice, great choice. Portal 2! Want to go to space? Partially why I'm Sarah Spaceman is because of Portal 2. So that's also a great choice. I know a lot of people like Portal 1 better than Portal 2, which is valid, but, I mean, Portal 2 has Space Core. Stardew Valley? I've actually never played Stardew Valley. Pokemon Black 2. I've not been super into the Pokemon games in a long time, but my older brother is a Pokemon master. Dragon Age Origins, not played any of the Dragon Age games. Pathologic 2, not played that. Somebody says Wind Waker, that's a great choice. Wind Waker, one of the greatest games of all time, one of my top 3 favorite games. Top 4, I guess. Really liked Cult of the Lamb, also just my favorite to cosplay from Master Detective Archive Code Rain. I've never heard of Master Detective Archive Code Rain, but I did play a little Cult of the Lamb. I was honestly a little disappointed by Cult of the Lamb, and that was only like, it was fun. It was fun. It was disappointing to me in that a lot of people were comparing it to The Binding of Isaac, which is I loved. You want to talk about like the exception to the I don't play top-down games rules? It's The Binding of Isaac. I loved The Binding of Isaac. I played the out of The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac is just a very good game. But people were saying that Cult of the Lamb was so much like Binding of Isaac, and it really wasn't. It had some similarities, but it really wasn't the same. And so it was cute and fun, and I liked it, but it was not The Binding of Isaac. And if I had gone in without having that context, I probably would have liked it a little better. God of War Ragnarok. I have not ever been interested in the God of War games. FNAF sister location. I am too much of a baby to play the FNAF games. Oh my god, there's so many. Here, I'm just gonna switch to this because I can't read. Okay, we got lightning round. Nintendogs and Animal Crossing. Let's go. I don't think we even had Nintendogs, but my family played a lot of the GameCube Animal Crossing, just the original Animal Crossing, a lot of Wild World, not a whole lot of City Folk, and I played New Leaf for like a month when it came out, but a lot of Wild World, And a lot of the original. Beat Saber. Ooh, I have played Beat Saber. Beat Saber is really fun. Stardew Valley and DDR. I'm no good at DDR, but I know people that play it love it. Hot take, but Genshin, but the exploring part, not the gacha part. I actually really agree with you on that. Like, when you play Genshin for the first time and you get to that one part, you know that one part of Liyue that, like, takes your breath away with all the tall mountains and the beautiful music? Genshin slaps with its environment. They don't play around. Oh, B, you ready to get roasted? Oh, B. Oh, I'm sorry, B. Are you ready? B's favorite game is Kingdom Hearts 2. I hate Kingdom Hearts. You wanna know why? Because I hate Mickey Mouse! When I was a little kid and I would see Kingdom Hearts, I would think, oh my god, that looks so cool. Because I was a little kid and I obviously really enjoyed the anime aesthetic. And I would see these really cool characters like Sora and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, that game looks really fun. And then I would see Mickey Mouse was in it. It broke my little heart that I couldn't play this Square Enix game. Because I hate Mickey Mouse. And I refuse to play a game with Mickey Mouse in it. I hate Mickey Mouse. Okay. Gotta respect the mouse hate. Thank you. He destroyed. Mickey Mouse by himself destroyed copyright as we know it. I hate the mouse. I hate the mouse and everything he stands for. Thanks for watching this year-old Patreon stream re-upload. If you want to see the Patreon streams actually live or in full, then you can check out my Patreon because you can get access for just $1 a month. And a big thank you to Mel, or Pocket Leaves, who's editing these streams down for me so I can focus on my main channel videos. You can check out Mel's work on either their channel Pocket Leaves or Pocket Cons, and sometimes you'll even see me in their con vlogs. It's a special occurrence when it happens. But as always, if you're just watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, then you're supporting this channel too. So thank you. Bye!